Good evening, my friends. Welcome to the Black Diamond Call for Monday, November 27th. As always, John Lavenia is here to host tonight's festivities. We've got a fun call, and we're gonna have a wing it call today because my co-host, guest speaker, who's joining us tonight, has shared with you once before, not here on the Black Diamond, but on the Rise webinar, where he showed you a bit of his SEO mastery skills. So maybe I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but he's a great guy, and he's someone who I've gotten a chance to work with here at our events when we do our live events, and it's going to be some off-the-cuff concepts with you guys tonight via him. But before I bring him out, we'll let you know that we are this call, especially for our brand new people who are just joining us for the first time. We are typically going for about an hour, and we will have some Q&A and some audience participation at the end. But this call's fun. This is where we get to let our hair down a bit and just tell you how we got to the top of our game in our chosen profession, which is, of course, direct sales. And for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm John Lavenia. I run this whole call series, and well, successful anyway in direct sales for over 15 years. Been around it longer than that, and I've made some millions, and I've taught thousands of people how to do this sort of thing. So so I'm going to share with you my opinions on stuff and you know, what works for me in my business and in my life, as will our guest speaker tonight. I'm very interested to hear what he's going to be talking about. So take what you like and leave the rest. See how these ideas actually apply into your business. Don't just take this for entertainment value, but actually do something with these ideas. And as always, if I say anything that offends you, you'll get over it. That's how we roll around here. So tonight, we are talking with somebody who, like I mentioned, I have had a chance to meet right here through Digital Altitude, and someone who has done extremely well using organic marketing methods, meaning search engines. Here's people looking for something, and here comes this guy. He just keeps showing up. Like, you Google this, or you Bing that, or you Yahoo something, and the next thing you know, you're looking at articles from this guy, and he's got a way to dominate that sort of you know, search engine. And of course, you can refer to his training on that inside your Digital Altitude back office under the Resources tab and the recorded trainings. And I am talking about none other than our friend Jesse Singh, who is with us tonight. Jesse, how are you, brother?
Good, John. How's it going?
I'm so good, man. I'm so glad you're here. I am, you know what, I've never shared you with everyone on the Black Diamond Call before, so this is a first. And my goodness, you were on another live broadcast just maybe a month ago, so this is becoming a habit for you. I'm excited.
Yeah, usually I'm pretty quiet.
Yeah. Well,
I like to stay behind the scenes.
Yeah, this is where you get to make some noise. And of course, you know, because we're not doing screen shares or exhibits tonight, or, you know, any of the tech stuff, this is just a conversation where people are really excited to hear about your insights and what propelled you to this. I know that we've got a bit of a similar background, not in terms of SEO, because I'm not an SEO guy, but in terms of our mechanical backgrounds, you know, from previous lives and stuff. And so maybe that's something that's a prerequisite for success. I don't know, but you were a mechanic at one point?
Yeah, I was a car mechanic for I think it was 4 years.
Right. Well, I was a diesel tugboat engineer, and then I got into trucks and heavy equipment, and then cars, and then wound up buying a franchise, and then that was it. I was out of the mechanical fields. But where do you want to go with this conversation tonight, Jesse? A lot of people are excited to hear about what makes you tick.
For me, I'm just going to go back to how I got to where I was, just my journey in general, and maybe, you know, people understand that, you know, I wasn't like this the whole time, like having all the success and all that stuff. People think that, you know, I get these questions, oh, you're doing well because you have a following. Well, you know, we all started from zero before. The following, you know, took time. And you just got to keep pressing forward until you get to where you want to be. For me, it really started back in, I would say, 2012. I got into traditional network marketing. I was part of this. Actually, it was my boss who recruited me into a coffee deal. It was in my dealership. so he recruited me into a coffee deal, and I found it really interesting. It was totally different than what I was used to, where, you have to go to these hotel meetings. You got to bring people there, and basically that's where it all started. I started working on my mindset a lot, because as a car mechanic, there was no way, like with my employee mindset, there was no way I would get to where I was. So the first thing I did was I turned off the radio completely. So I was commuting back to work, back and forth to work. It would take me 45 minutes each way. So what I did was I started listening to, Tony Robbins. I started getting audiobooks like Think and Go Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, and I would listen to these over and over again until they were embedded in my mind. So mindset, people say, oh, it's just, wishy-washy stuff. But you know what? Mindset, I would say, is 90% of it, because that is what's going to propel you when you feel like quitting, when you feel like it's not working. By the way, I did horribly in that coffee deal. So you said you were in direct sales, like in traditional network marketing?
I personally did network marketing back in the 1900s, and it was milk and cookie parties and hotel meetings and trying to sign up your friends, family, and neighbors, and make a list of 100 people, and then make another list of 100, and then the 3-foot rule. Anyone you bump into in the store, which you deliberately try to do, that becomes a prospect. And oh man, I made my best year in what I would call traditional network marketing. I made $12,000 and joined the NFL. The NFL, the network marketing NFL. That means no friends left, right? So that was the condition that I exited that business model in, and I liked the concept, Jesse. I mean, yeah, it sounds good.
But, it's great.
Yeah, but
concepts are awesome.
getting people to duplicate, that was the thing. It's like, man, you mean for, they get started for a couple $1,000 and they don't do anything, and and some of these network marketing things are just very, very low ticket, a few $100s or whatever, and I wanted to make a lot of money, In fact, I came here, and I'm not going to hijack your talk. I'll just let you know, I came into the top tier direct sales space, not knowing that's what I was getting into, but I came with a goal, a solid goal, a definite goal, like Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich, definiteness of purpose, definiteness of decision. My goal was $20,000 a month, not a penny less. And that was like double what I was making working 70 to 80 hours a week at a job, which I was working out of desperation because I just couldn't make it in network marketing, no matter what I did. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Well, you said you had been around, prior to direct sales, but yeah, I finally got it in 2002. That's when I started making millions. So, yeah, that's a bit about me. If you didn't know, because Jesse and I, just so you guys know, we haven't had a whole lot of time together. A little bit of time backstage and whatever, but it's not like we sat around and told each other our life stories or anything. But yeah, man, how does that relate to what you experienced?
Very similar experience for me. I did the whole hotel meetings. I even went to their events. Like I was all like, I really wanted to do well. I went to all their events at that deal, and I ended up making like $4,000. Eventually, something clicked in me. I couldn't sell the product in person, so what I did was start selling them on eBay and Amazon. Because I didn't like talking to people, right? So I'm like, there must be something easier to do, and I got into like the whole e-commerce thing. I started selling these things. I was only making like $5 a pop. It was like pretty much peanuts for that. And that's the one downside of regular network marketing is they want you to sell this product, and and 70% of your business should be through the product line, but you don't make any money in traditional network marketing that way. So after that, failed that, I basically started looking, I was testing waters online. I had no clue what the online world was all about. I didn't even know what a sales funnel was, an email list, nothing like that. So what really made me, leap in this direction was in July of 2013, I got in a bad car accident. I couldn't go back to work. I was on physiotherapy. Insurance companies were paying basically half of my income. They tell you, we'll pay 70% of your income or $400 a week, and that's Canadian, so that's like nothing in the U.S., right? So, so I was getting paid like $1,600 a month, and my mortgage alone was more than that. So I had to figure something out fast, and so this is when I started looking online. I was really intrigued with the whole, organic traffic, like blogging, SEO thing. I guess it was kind of like the mindset behind it was kind of mechanical in a way. Like there's a certain formula to it where, when you're working on a car, when you're diagnosing a car, it's kind of, a process where this kind of had a similar kind of process to it. So I guess that's why it really clicked with me. And I just was fascinated. I'm fascinated about ranking stuff on Google. I was like, that's awesome, And so what happened was I got into this blogging deal, and I didn't use the company's blogs. I started on a WordPress thing, and I wanted to, make it my own. And basically, I failed for about 7 months straight. I was like in $40,000 in debt by now because I wasn't getting paid much. And I forgot my wife just lost her job too, so it was basically $1,600 a month. And to sustain that home, we need to make around like $4,000 minimum. So as you can see, I was in the red every single month. So finally, being consistent and again, the whole mindset thing kicked in, right? I have to make this work. It was do or die for me. And so July to January 2014, I joined an affiliate marketing hybrid network marketing. It had a multi-tier comp plan, but it was more like affiliate marketing. And so my first month, finally my stuff started ranking after 6-7 months later. And my first month I made $2,500 US, and that was like surreal to me. I was like, wow, this stuff actually works. And that's when I had my first breakthrough. 7 months of struggling, basically failing. I thought I was failing, but I was failing in the right direction, I guess you want to call it. And so I hit $2,500 my January, and then 3 months later, I got to 6,000, and within that 8 months, I got to my ultimate goal, which is similar to yours, was $20,000 a month. So that's how my journey started, all organic traffic. I mastered one traffic source, got really good at it because I enjoyed it, right? If you don't enjoy it, like if you think SEO is the best thing out there, but you hate it, it's not going to work for you. So that's one of the tips I'm going to give everybody right here is whatever you're doing, whatever you want to master, make sure you enjoy it because there'll be times where it's going to get hard, and because you enjoy it, it's going to get you over that hump kind of thing. So that's how I first started, got my breakthrough, got to 20K, and then a year later I got to like 50K a month. And, in DA, which is like the ultimate, I'd never seen an opportunity like this before. I basically applied what I did in the previous company where I made like $500,000 in 2 years. I did over 1.2 here in 1 year, like half the time, basically quadruple the money in a way. So, I mean, DA is like a totally different beast, basically. It's just, I'm just grateful that, I don't know if you know Aaron Andrews. Do you know Aaron Andrews?
Yeah, we had Aaron on here just maybe a month ago.
Yeah, so he's my sponsor, and I was in this other deal, and he wanted me to check this out, and I kept seeing him, Michael Force kept putting these posts up, hey, you made 30K in sales. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, first I was going, nah, I didn't know about it, and then eventually I was like, okay, you know what, let me test it out. So I tested it out, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. This just works. So I just basically, when I got my first result, I just went all in and I was never looked back. I was just like, this is it. I'm just going to see how far I can go with it.
Right. So in your case, and I didn't realize that you were this new. You had your breakthrough in 2014. So it sounds like you've been in the game successfully for about 3 years now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a newbie if you really compare me to you guys.
Right. So that's the thing. Listen to that, everybody. Here is one of our top earners in the entire program. And he wasn't even in the program. Well, Digital Altitude wasn't in the marketplace 3 years ago. Here's a guy who had his breakthrough 3 years ago in a lesser program. And now with what he knows and what he's learned just in a short few years, one of the top earners here, if not the top earner. I know you bounce around the 1, 2, 3 spots, here and there. But and all that through SEO. Like, you don't do any paid marketing or anything like that?
In the beginning, I didn't. But, me, other leaders really drive me to do better, which is what I love about DA. When I see people like Darren Rhonda and, Jason Stone, I'm like, what? Like, they're successful with, their strategy. Like, what are they doing? And we obviously, and the beauty of going to events is you can talk to these people and actually, see what they're doing. And every event I've gone to, if I want to learn something, I just go to one of these guys and say, hey, what are you doing? And I basically invest my time into that strategy. So this Instagram stuff was completely new to me. I think it was August of 2016. I just opened up my Instagram account because, Jason was crushing it. He helped me out a bit, helped me out, what to do, what not to do. Just basically enough instructions where I filled in the blanks by just doing it, right? So August of 2016, I had no followers on Instagram. I just stayed consistent with that, and now today I have about 378,000 followers. So that's another traffic income stream now, and I get signups from that for DA. And another thing I got into was Facebook ads, which I had no clue. I saw a leader doing it. He was doing really well, and I decided, again, I asked them questions. They gave me, don't do this. You can do this. And by doing it and taking action, I figured out, basically I connected the dots. And now with Facebook ads, I'm a kind of a little bit of a numbers guy. I can get a trial member for little as $4 to $5 per trial member by optimizing it. So I have used paid advertising only because SEO is awesome, but you can't scale it quickly. And I wanted to, I'm just, all the other leaders are doing well, and I was like, I got to be better. I got to start, keeping up with these guys. So I started to branch off to certain, other traffic sources, and now I'm doing well with those. So I got 3 traffic sources going now.
Right. So a bit of friendly competition and all that. And now you mentioned before, you gave some advice about, if you're not really into SEO, don't do SEO, which I think is good advice, because I don't believe that people are going to excel at anything they're not, passionate about, or at least have strong interest in. So in your case, with the, with the social media stuff, was that something you were already interested in, or you just wanted to do it just to try something new, or do you enjoy doing that as well as the SEO?
Yeah, I mean, every time I want to branch off to something, I usually have a certain desire to be successful in it, right? So that's my I guess my baseline for everything. Obviously, I have to be interested in it, or I just can't do it. I mean, Darren and Rhonda, they do this huge amount of traffic. I'm not at that level yet. They've been doing it for 15 years, but I'll slowly get up there. But right now, I'm not too interested in that, only because I'm not at that point, I believe. But for me, Facebook ads and Instagram, where Instagram's kind of like SEO in a little bit, like organic traffic-wise, so that kind of, interested me. Where Facebook ads, once you know Facebook ads, it's actually, I actually enjoy doing it, like split testing and all that stuff. What ad gets better conversions, and I make it a game. That's the only way, you can do, you'll be really, passionate about it. I just make it like a game. I was really into video games when I was younger, so I kind of use that as like a gaming platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think Facebook ads are a little different than like a first-person shooter. Like I don't know which games you were into, but when I was a bit younger, I remember playing Quake and Doom and stuff like that. Just all the blood and guts stuff. That was what I was into. But anyway, kind of goes along with the music that I listen to. But the thing is that there's so many different ways, Jesse, to do this. And you mentioned Darren and Rhonda, and they're into like CPA, that sort of thing. And that's it's a different world, right? Like a lot of people wouldn't know where to start with that. And like a lot of people wouldn't know where to start with SEO. However, if we do go into our not only our Rise program, but also the replays of all the On the Rise webinars, like the one you hosted just a few weeks back, we can get a sort of a crash course in SEO or Facebook advertising or Instagram by the people who are doing it, right? There's Jason Stone's Instagram training in there, and there's Jesse Singh's SEO training, and guys like Alfredo teaching, Facebook marketing and stuff like that. So it's all in there. And a lot of times I think people think, well, I got to do everything. And that's obviously that's not the case. You're not going to do everything. For people like, right, exactly. So for people like me, I like to run my mouth, right? I'm into podcasting and the spoken word, video kind of stuff. So that's it, right? You, not so much running your mouth. What kind of stuff do you post on Instagram, by the way? Are you a photographer, or like, how did you go from the written word to pictorials? Which I think of Instagram, I think of just aesthetics, pictures, little blurbs and stuff. What was that like for you?
For me, I basically mimicked what Jason Stone did because I know what he was doing was working, and I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. So what I started doing was just putting up motivational quotes. Like every 3 posts will be motivational quotes, and like the 4th one will be like some kind of promotion to generate leads to monetize the Instagram page, and I'll obviously have it monetized with DA. So while I was building my Instagram page, like even when I did paid shout-outs, this means you go to a bigger influencer that has like a huge following. So like someone like Jason Stone, pay them a couple of $100 and tell them to, hey, do follow my page. And so I monetize it with DA, and I spend a lot of money doing that. But the great thing about DA is that you make it all back and some. So I basically spent like $30,000 on Instagram building it with paid shout-outs, but with DA on the back end, I made over $100,000 doing it. So I was profitable while I was building my following on Instagram, and that's very important to monetize it. I mean, DA is like I said, I haven't seen anything like it. So
right. Well, yeah, so you tripled your money. That's
not
bad,
yeah.
Right?
While I was building it, while I was learning, and I did, there's certain things I didn't do right, and I thought I lost money, but in the end, I tripled my money, so it's all good.
Oh, well, maybe we'll get the Jesse Singh version of Instagram training here pretty soon, because tripling your money. I mean, it may not be to the scale of Jason, who's been doing that for years and has millions of followers. But the principles work, and your angle on it obviously is working to the tune of 300% returns. So well done, sir. And you know what? There's so much subtopics that are built into what you've been talking about here already. But one of the things that I want to just park on for a minute is how you mentioned a couple of times already, there's nothing like DA. And obviously preaching to the choir. Everyone here is a member. This is not, for guests, this call. However, there is some contrast, okay, that you can see when you've experienced other things versus what we have here. And I can tell you in my experience, which is decades, this is pretty special. And I think a lot of times, Jesse, a lot of our new members may not have that clarity because they haven't seen what else is out there. They haven't had their asses handed to them in 10,000 different other deals.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you got into like a blogging deal. I don't know if that was with somebody who I think his company is bankrupt now, but they
it was that one.
It was that guy, that wacky guy. Okay, so that's interesting. That's interesting too. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some interesting characters on the web, and everybody here can hold their head high and feel grateful, that they're in a company that knows a little bit about sobriety and integrity compared to some of the other stuff. Some of the other stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen all the shenanigans. When I only been in it for like 3.5 years, and already in that time frame, I've seen, in the beginning it looks all good, and then within 6 to 8 months you can start seeing, what they're really about, and it's not what you thought it was, and it's with DA, like I said, I'm not trying to hype DA up because everyone's a member here. But again, DA is totally different. They were, in the beginning, they were they had the integrity and all that, and they still do. Nothing has changed other than they like Michael Forrest, you guys, the corporate team, all constantly improving the system. Where the other companies that I've been in, they introduce something and it completely destroys them. The conversions go down. It's not the same vibe anymore. The community's not the same anymore. Where where community here has been very consistent, which is what I love about it as well.
Well, yeah, that's a big deal. And here's a lesson that cost me some millions, and that is more important than what business you do is who you do it with. And for a lot of people, if they don't have some of the experiences like I've had, that may seem unexpected. It's like, well, no, isn't it all about the business model, the products, the comp plan? Well, yeah, all that stuff's important. But who's at the helm? And that's really, really important. And again, that lesson cost me a few $1 million. So maybe I just saved everybody a few $1 million. Look at this. I should be passing the offering basket right now. This is a very beneficial call. But yeah, Jesse, in terms of what you do and advice for people now, you've passed the $1 million mark and all that, which a lot of people will listen to and say, wow, $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. This is just the beginning, though, and this is just the beginning for you, Jesse. I mean, my goodness, you're only a couple of years into this, right? So what advice would you have for the new members, of which there are many, who are on the line live right now and will be listening to this in perpetuity on our podcast?
The best thing I can tell everybody is you just have to stick with the system, be consistent with your marketing, day in, day out, treat it like a real business. A lot of, people, I know some small business owners that owns a big coffee shop near my house, and he spent what was it, $500,000 for his franchise, and his overhead is about $40,000 a month, and he takes home about 10% of his sales. I make more money in DA than he did by spending millions, almost millions of dollars now. He's just had it for a while now, so I make more than him in a year in DA than what he does on a franchise. And this is the power of what you guys have here. So be consistent with your marketing, treat it like $1 million business, because it can be if you treat it like one, and just make sure. And a lot of people, another thing I noticed is, especially I have little team groups and stuff, some people just need to follow the instructions exactly how they tell, how it's shown, because some people complicate the process even more, and that just hinders, your results. Like, they'll add stuff, they start adding websites, other funnel stuff. I'm like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Just stick with the basics, get really good at that, and then from there, once you're good at it, you can start, branching out a little bit more.
Right. Right. So like the stuff you do, and by the way, I was looking at the chat roll here. I don't know if you're on dalivecall.com or not, but there's a chat roll there, and we have people saying, well, what is SEO? Right. So yeah, there are different grades of understanding. When you come in here, you may not do the methods that Jesse is doing, and you may not even be interested in that, but you may be, and there's going to be a bit of a learning curve. But what he's saying here is that do the easiest things first, the things that are easiest for you. For Jesse, he's got that that analytical thing going on where he actually enjoys doing keyword research and writing 500 to 700 word articles and doing all that kind of stuff. Other people, that would be like death, right? Oh my goodness, I'm going to sit here and type. What am I going to type about? I don't know. Let me just go buy some ads or something. What's that Clixley? Great, sell me that. Yeah, that's viable, right? And then web design. Well, my goodness, there's already 8 complete websites. They're called sales funnels, okay, and they're in the back office. And then if you're brand new right now and you're just going through the steps, of course you'll be activating those once you're through all the steps and everything. But that's done for you by people who actually like doing that stuff. They like designing websites, and they test them, and they know that they work, right? I've seen people go off on these tangents. You mentioned, just follow the instructions. I've seen people go off on these things where they complicate stuff that they don't even understand the basics, and now they're getting into things that I don't even want to touch, right? I don't do all this stuff like creating all these websites and everything. But the killer, I think, for a lot of people is when they not only didn't follow the instructions, but they didn't hear the instructions, and I get to witness some of that too sometimes, and it can be very expensive. Like, for example, we've got these websites, these sales funnels. Great. Well, go ahead and hook up your autoresponder, test the funnel, make sure you're getting the emails, make sure the leads are coming in properly and all that. Test it. And I've seen people just do something as simple as giving out the wrong link when they bought traffic, and here's $1,000 worth of traffic down the drain. Simple little stuff, like little attention to detail. And that's where I think you and I can certainly resonate. And I'm not here to admonish people and say, double and triple check your work, although that's what I do. And I think that's what Jesse does. And I think that has something to do with having a bit of a mechanical background. While sales and marketing is very subjective, and all marketing is a test, and we don't know what a campaign is going to do. Is this a good campaign? Is it going to be profitable? I don't know. Well, the marketplace will tell us. And while that's still the case, we still have that attention to detail and accuracy. Computers don't give a damn if you give it the wrong link. They'll just run the wrong link, right? So, but like when Jesse sends that car on the road, going back to our mechanical background, so when we put that car on the road and we say, yes, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, this car is safe and ready to drive, it damn well better be safe and ready to drive, Yeah. Somebody's life is in your hands at that point. So I don't screw around, and it's that sort of meticulous attention that I think is an advantage for guys like us. Other people, it's just all about like the personality or the charisma, and I think we both have that too. Especially you, Jesse. You're so charismatic. But still, there's got to be competence. Yes, competence, and that comes with attention to detail and of course practice. What would you like to say about that?
I mean, when you're in, when you go to school, you have to, you got to get your work done in a certain way. I mean, all the instructions are there. It's just you just need to, and it's simple to follow. Just if you need to, write it down if you have to. Just make sure step 1, send capture page link to clicks the vendor, like instead of sales page link, or even let's backtrack a little bit. Make sure your funnels are set up properly. Like you said, you put your email in your own capture page. See if your email is inboxing. I actually have 10 email addresses from different Gmails, and I pop them in my autoresponder just to see if my email went to spam or not. Like things like that. Like when I send out a broadcast, when I email my list, I have 10 different email addresses, and then if it doesn't hit at least 50%, I have to change that email out because it's spammed. So like stuff like that, like little tricks like that to make you guys more money, and it doesn't take any more time. So just test your funnels, test your emails, and then once you're done all that, you send them your correct link if it's paid traffic. Triple check if you have to. I mean, that's just, this is a business now. Treat it like $1 million business. I mean, you buy a McDonald's, you're not going to serve them, hot dogs or something because you went off the, you went off the instructions. I mean, you probably get your franchise shut down by their head office, if you did something like that. So it's like the same thing here. I mean, you won't get shut down. You just lose a lot of money through traffic if you send the wrong link. But this, like I said, if you treat it like a real business, you're not going to make these mistakes because you're going to be serious about it. You just got to take it seriously.
Yeah, good stuff. I have a question for you because you just mentioned 10 Gmail accounts. Is that 10 separate Gmail addresses that are not commingled in any way?
Yeah, completely different.
Because, sometimes when I'm testing funnels, I'll just do the dot trick where you just put a dot in the middle of your name somewhere at Gmail or the plus number, like, Jesse Singh +1 at Gmail, +2, and each one is a different email address as far as the
you
funnel.
can do that. Yeah, you can do that. As long as they're different Gmail accounts, though, right? You got to log into them.
Well, no, this is all one Gmail address that you can modify, and I'm wondering if you're doing multiple accounts. Now we're on to tech stuff. Okay, so we've got a couple of tech guys talking here, but is that for the purpose of completely separate accounts because maybe one already validated the inbound email as good rather than spam, but the other one may not have, or is that what?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do totally separate accounts.
Okay. So this is beyond just, adding a dot somewhere in the middle of your name.
No.
Okay.
I even add from AOL, Yahoo.
AOL? You have an AOL account?
I just have it. It's not that important, to be honest. 90% of the email, or 80 or 90, something like that, are Gmail accounts anyway. I mean, the other ones are not as important. But hey, I've had Apex sales from Yahoo accounts, so I mean,
wow.
you don't want to treat them like
you ever seen an Apex sale from an AOL account?
Not yet.
Okay, don't hold your breath.
But
I'm still shocked sometimes. There are still thousands of people on dial-up. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I thought that doesn't exist anymore.
I heard there's thousands of people that use dial-up, and I think AOL just shut down their instant messenger service. Anyway, there was a time, ladies and gentlemen, where AOL was cutting edge, and you've got mail, and that was an exciting thing to hear. And now you'd hear.
I remember those days.
Yeah. So okay. Well, let's do this, Jesse. We're like 40 minutes in. We got plenty of time for some participation here. I'm going to go ahead and put our conference bridge into Q&A mode. So stand by. Here we go. All right. So we have the great Jesse Singh with us live on the call today. And if you guys want to come on out and address Jesse directly, now is your opportunity to go ahead and raise your hand. You can do so by clicking the Raise Your Hand button if you're on the free conference call application. Or if you are on a phone or Skype, *6 is the command. *6 will raise your hand, and then I will be able to unmute your line individually and in order of appearance. Now is the time. Somebody come on out here and do that because I've got nobody in the queue. We do have somebody. Hold on. Oh, we had somebody. Okay, if you're going to raise your hand, raise your hand. Now is the time to do it, and we have our first caller. Here we go. And that is Diogenes. Are you here?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. You're live on the air. How are you today?
Good, good.
Good.
Yes.
All right. Well, you've got the floor.
Yes, I'm coming from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I just be glad to be on this live call because, when you're talking with somebody like Jesse, like Lavinia, it's pretty honor because, these guys, we are talking with you, but, you are on high places. So we make sure that we are in the word, follow you, and make sure that we are in the same place. That's my hope. So my question is that I used to see Jesse's formula. I used to hear some live call recorded, and I was looking how he writes some trick words in order to attract customers. So I found that I was trying to follow him, but behind the scene and try to do my own. But I found that it was somehow a little hard because, as a newbie, I'm a Rise member, and I have my first sale last month. But my question is that I have some problems email follow-ups because, I got coach. He told me everything, but I still be back in email follow-ups because I know I have, as I hear from different leaders, they say you have almost one time per day to email your list. So I have that kind of problem, how I can make email follow-ups, and that's my huge question in this industry. Thank you.
So you're having trouble with the follow-up emails?
Yes, because the formulation, sometimes I make it, but I found that I'm going to make it not going on. So I don't know if my autoresponder doesn't work, but it works. So it looks like I have some kind of problem how I can set up maybe a automation system that or trick that can allows me in every morning to email my list without any problem. That's what I need to be clear for that.
For me, I use I know that Aweber is really, for deliverability, Aweber is probably one of the best autoresponders out there. So if you're going to use if you're going to use a third-party email autoresponder, I'll definitely use Aweber. And what you can do is you can load up digital altitudes follow-ups, but I wouldn't just keep them the way they are. I would actually slightly modify them so it seems like they're coming from you, right? You want to brand yourself. You can have your little pictures in their messages and stuff like that. And another thing a lot of people don't do is, follow-ups are awesome, but you need to email your list on top of that at least 5 times a week, because I've had people on my list for a year that joined me a year later because I've been mailing 5 times a week, way after the follow-ups were done. So a lot of people are leaving money on the table when they don't broadcast those emails.
Okay. I think I use Aweber, and sometimes I believe because when I look for most of people in DA, they use Aweber, so I trust Aweber, but I have to contact my coach in order to get some tricky ways, because but really, as you say, I'm worthy to email my list. Almost every day I have to email my list, so that's what I need to do, and I will try to see. I don't know if you guys, somebody can reach you personally or can get any contact or any email, because sometimes we need you, because we need you no matter we got coach, we got everything, but we need you sometimes, coach, they are busy, they got a lot of customers, they are trying to serve. So sometimes I would like suggest if you could leave me your email, so maybe, because, I know I'm not going to lose your time, but I have some keywords which I could get from you.
Well, Diogene, that's why we're here and we do these calls, is because we're all insanely busy and we want to serve everyone. But it sounds like you definitely should get with like a traffic coach. So you got access to traffic coaches here, and these are people who can help you with if you needed a little assistance with that sort of thing. But like Jesse's saying, keep it simple. Like make sure you got your AWeber hooked up. Get
Yeah.
populate the account and the list with the follow-up emails, and then broadcast. Right, come up with
Right.
an email a day and send it out. And that's something only you can do. In fact, that's the one thing. That's the one thing, Diogene, that you have to do. Right, is be a marketer. Like everything else is handled. Like all these training calls, well, John Lavenia handles all that. And like all the coaching and calling your leads, all the coaching platform handles all that. And, accounting, well, Morgan handles all that,
Right,
And so
right,
the only thing,
Yeah.
your only thing you got to do is be a marketer. So do that. And Jesse's doing that too, however many hours a day he's putting in. I could tell you one thing, and this isn't just to, self-aggrandize or anything, but I could tell you that, especially on Mondays, I am 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. DA on Mondays. It is just insane, the amount of expansion that we're experiencing here. So yeah, there's that. I haven't had, like I got to have a meal today, Jesse. I got to stop and have a hamburger. That was about an hour and a half ago. I got a meal. So talk about luxury.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
Listen to
I
me
got you.
cry.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you
You
so
gotta-
much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Diogene.
No problem.
Figure it out, brother. All right. And we're going to go to our
Yeah.
next caller, which is Sarah. You're live on the air, Sarah.
Yes, I was wondering, Jesse, you said that you mimicked Jason Stone's Instagram accounts. What sort of hashtags did you use? Did you follow his hashtags or make up your own?
He doesn't use hashtags because his account is so huge. He doesn't need to use them anymore. But what I did was I went on Google and I typed in entrepreneur hashtags on Google, and there was I'm not sure what the site was exactly. I think it was like the first or second result is they give you like 20 hashtags you can use right away, and you can just pop them into your post, and it's already done for you. So you don't have to individually. By the way, I post from my computer because I'm not a mobile person. I use this program called Grambler. And you can actually post all your Instagram posts from it, and you can even schedule them from there. So you can have, like, say, 10 posts ready to go. You can schedule them in that program and just let it run, and it will post it to the time that you put it up. But, yeah, I would Google that. Yeah, just Google hashtag, like, make money online or entrepreneur or some kind of success quotes. Hashtags, and there's like so many sites. I think the first or second one that has all that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Sarah. Great question. This is going to turn into an Instagram training here. And Jesse, you didn't know anything about Instagram 6 months ago, so.
Yeah, I know. It's got to be consistent.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, we're going to go to our next caller, which is, I believe, Thomas in the 401 area code. Is that Thomas?
Thomas, maybe it's Patrick Caton.
Hey,
Hello.
Patrick. You're live on the air, Patrick.
Okay, two quick questions. I'm brand new at this, and so we have a meeting like this every single day of the week, Monday through Friday at 9?
No, this is a weekly special called the Black Diamond. We do have our wake-up calls. Apparently you're brand new here, Patrick, so welcome. We do have our wake-up calls at 10 a.m. Eastern U.S. time, and we have other calls on the calendar. If you just go to dalivecall.com, you'll find the calendar section right there on that site, and you can see it all in your time zone right there.
Okay, and what's an SEO?
Oh, right. That came up in the chat roll. Jesse, what is
what's that?
SEO?
SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and basically what that is you pick a keyword that people are searching for, like a phrase, like when people search on Google, like make money online, and what you want to do is rank a page on Google to come to the first page of Google for that result. So people that are searching for make money online, there's a possibility that they'll land on your page. They'll go through your content, and from your content, you should have some call to action to your capture page or something like that, and sign people on your email list from there.
Okay. And so, so I'm making an email list.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure I'll have more questions when I know more, and right now I don't have any more enough knowledge to ask any more questions.
Hey, no
So
worries, Patrick. Yeah, we're glad you're here. Are you just going through the initial steps? Are you brand new?
Brand new. This is the first contact I've made with a person.
Oh, you think I'm a person?
Awesome.
Oh, look at that. I got to. Well done, Patrick. Welcome to the team, and you're gonna be learning a lot, and it's gonna be on a nice steady gradient. So you don't need to digest everything all at once. Okay, so just stick with your coaches, and you'll be in good shape, my friend. Welcome to the team.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right.
No
You
problem.
have a great night, and I believe that is our last caller for tonight. Yes, it is. That is our last caller. Hold on a second. All right, so we are done with Q&A and audience participation. Everybody give Jesse some love in the chat roll. We're seeing a lot of participation here tonight. Thank you, Jesse, for all you do and for sharing with everyone here. I know a lot of times, especially for SEO guys, it's a very private affair, where you're kind of just looking at your computer and here's your keyboard and not talking much maybe, but here you are giving a lot of value. So thank you for all you do, my friend.
No problem, John. Anytime.
All right. Good. Well, everyone, we're going to be back here tomorrow. The chat roll's lit up. Jesse, look at all this love for Jesse. So we'll be back here tomorrow morning for our wake-up call with our friend Joel Strait on Tuesdays. So we'll see you back here at 10 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. In the meantime, make it a great night, everyone. You absolutely deserve it. And bye for now.
Take care, everybody.